Hello everyone, Josh here with Texas, bringing you guys some Gacha gaming revenue news. So this is coming from the subreddit for Gacha gaming, so kudos to them. Thank you all so much for providing this information. Keeps it nice and clean and easy to understand and read over. Now, I might do something a little bit more, I guess, detailed in the future, because I might go ahead and start breaking down actual percentages from month to month of how much a company has made for a particular game. Either going up or down. You know, they might make 50% increase or like a 30% decrease from month, from month to month up to maybe 6 months. So I might make a Google Doc for that, or maybe make a website in the future if you guys really want to see content like this, because I love breaking down the numbers. I'm looking at numbers all the freaking time. I'm using Sensor Tower, which is where this data is coming from, and I'm also using like App Magic, which gives me more of the day-to-day and week-to-week information that I really like, and it's more than just the revenue numbers as well. It's also showing me like how the download totals are working and how they're broken up by different regions. So that's a lot of stuff that I like to really dive into when it comes to playing these games, especially for YouTube, because sometimes as a content creator, it's hard to really get involved into a game if the game is not doing so well, because if the game isn't doing well, you're not going to have a whole lot of people playing it. If you're not going to have a whole lot of people playing it, then they're probably not watching videos for it either. So it kind of all goes hand in hand. It's like a domino effect. So I like to break all that stuff down. So if you guys are more interested in the actual nitty gritty, the actual analytical data and the numbers and stuff like that of some of your favorite and more popular gacha games, even if we don't cover those games on here on the channel or our main channel, let me know all that and more in the comment section below. And we'll try to see if we can do something about this to make it a little bit more fun in the future. So we'll see. Anyways. So, I want to give a small little disclaimer before we actually start breaking these numbers down. This is not sharing the full data of last month for Sensor Tower. Now, this is also mobile only. This is not showing if any of these games are available on cross-platform like PC or console. You are not seeing those numbers included in today's video. These are strictly for the mobile audience only via... You know, if you're on an emulator like BlueStacks or LD Player, if you're on a tablet, if you're on an iOS, an Android phone, etc., you get the idea. If it's mobile or a mobile platform, emulator, anything like that, these are the numbers you're seeing here today. But the disclaimer is, Sensor Tower had some issues last month, so you weren't getting the full data for the month. We might be missing a week or two of data for a lot of these games, so the numbers are going to be a little bit higher than what you're actually seeing here today. But nonetheless, I don't think most of these rankings are going to change a whole lot, because they're pretty well spread out for the most part. Some of them are pretty close together, but a lot are pretty spread out. So let's go down through the list here. We're going to go through these pretty quickly. Some of the ones I want to talk about, I'll stop and we'll go over a little bit. But a lot of these we're just going to kind of breeze through. So, Hoyoverse. Dominating the market yet again. I mean, we see here Honkai Star Rail made $91 million in May, and then they went ahead and made another $92.5 million or more, obviously, in June. I mean, Star Rail is making a killing. It's making a ton of money. It has completely just surpassed Genshin Impact. But Genshin Impact, to be fair, has been out, been around for a few years. And it's still making bank. $66.5 million coming in there like at number 2. I mean... Hoyoverse got 2 games there dominating the global market, and that's not surprising at all. Now, the dark horse, I don't even want to call this a dark horse. We're gonna get to the real dark horse, which is a few spots down. Wuthering Waves came in super hyped up. They spent a lot of money to promote this game, especially in Madison Square Garden. They had them all over the digital boards everywhere, and that cost a lot of money. They had a lot of things marketing-wise, trying to really push this game and to get people all hyped and excited. Now, it came out of the gate making $26 million, going to 45, potentially 50 million plus in June, which is very, very good. That's putting it in very good competition with the other top ARPG right now, Genshin Impact. So that's very, very good that Wuthering Waves has been able to go in there and perform and bring some competition to the ARPG market. And there will be bigger competition coming in the coming years as well, because we're still waiting on Project Mugen. We're still waiting on Seven Deadly Sins Origin, both of which might be dropping in 2025. So, the ARPG market's going to be getting crazy, but it's still making a ton of money. People absolutely love their ARPGs, and we have Zenless Zone Zero on the way in just a couple days. So, I mean, MiHoYo might own 3 of the top 5 grossing games globally for gacha games. here in the next couple months. So that's absolutely insane to me how much Hoyoverse is doing and how much of the market they kind of control right now. Not named Tencent, you know, the other big dog in the fight, the other big company in the gaming world, let alone just a gacha gaming world. So Wuthering Waves being able to come in and perform like they have has really been very, very good and very healthy for the games overall, because we don't need a monopoly. We don't need Hoyoverse to create a monopoly on a genre, okay? So we need competition to come in, step up to the plate and do well. So we need Project Mugen to do well. We need Origin next year to do well if it comes out next year. Wuthering Waves to continue to do well. And then our Dark Horse, which we'll get to here in a little bit. So Love and Deep Space, $31 million. They're down a little bit from last month. Naruto Online, Naruto Mobile. Oh my God, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I did not mean to bring up that atrocity that is Naruto Online. That might have very well single-handedly created the gacha system nightmare that we live in today. God dang, freaking Naruto Online. Some PTSD right there. Anyways, Naruto Mobile made a killing last month in China. $49.5 million. Now, they came back down to earth quite a bit, $27.5 million. That's still pretty impressive for a game that's not even available globally yet. So, if at all, and we might never see it because China gets a lot of cool games that we don't get to see globally, which is kind of annoying. Thank you so much, Tencent and Bandai Honkai Division. I said Bandai Honkai Division. Oh my goodness. Hoyoverse is really taking over the meta. No, I meant Bandai Hong Kong Division. There we go. So Naruto Mobile still making pretty good bank over there. Dragon Ball Legends. So, you know, Bandai Namco right there, dropping some money. Making some money that we're dropping. A little over $18.5 million there in June, which is pretty good because Dragon Ball Legends and Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle, which we'll get to in a little bit as well, are just going to continue to kind of print money because it's a Dragon Ball IP. Can we please, Bandai, please? Never mind my disdain and anger for not getting a proper Digimon turn-based game to come back to global since Digimon Re-Arise, and I'd like to see that happen, you know, with the new Digimon source code that we talked about here last year on this channel that I'm still waiting for more information on. But can we please get a Dragon Ball turn-based game, or even I'd even play a proper Dragon Ball ARPG if you guys pulled it off, or even a proper Dragon Ball MMO. Again, you know, but one that's global this time from the get-go and not have to be weirdly translated by the community. That would be awesome, okay? So let's see it happen. Solo Leveling Arise. Now, this is my dark horse because Solo Leveling Arise came in and shocked the world, but they didn't even know they were shocked because not a lot of people really talked about the success that Solo Leveling Arise actually created. That is too an ARPG published by Netmarble, and this opens the door for them, you know, for Netmarble to kind of get their foot in the door as an ARPG publisher as well, to kind of get in there with the other big dogs, the Wuthering Waves and all the games from Hoyoverse. Because Solo Leveling Arise was not really marketed all that well. It wasn't like, you know, just in your face, talked about every single day by all the big content creators, and it wasn't even played by all the big content creators, like Wuthering Waves, Genshin, and Star Rail R. However, Solo Leveling Arise still made $40 million in May, which is very, very impressive. Now, they came crashing down hard in June, which is very worrisome because they lost over 50-60% of the revenue from one month to the other, and that's not very good at all. So we're going to have to see if they can bounce back in July, but June was not a good month for Solo Leveling Arise. Now, $18 million, so $18 million. That's still good bank, okay? They still made money, okay? Don't get it twisted, but when you're making $40 million and then you go down $18 million in just 1 month, we have some serious conversations that need to be held. We have some meetings that we need to attend, and we need some changes that need to be made. All right, Puzzles and Dragons. That game's been around since I've been around. Or longer. That game is so old, but it's still making money. Light Night, I'm not even too sure. I'm not even familiar with Light Night. Now, Monster Strike, that's another old game. $16 million, $20 million last. Like, some of these old games still making bank is crazy. Gakuen Idol Master, $15 million. Fate Grand Order, please just die off so we can get a proper, beautiful looking Fate game that looks like it was, you know, the anime. I mean, it's not good when the anime looks better than the video game, okay? It should be the other way around. But Ufotable, they are legends in the game of animation, right? And they're kind of like what really made a lot of people fall in love with Fate in the first place, because of how beautiful they made the anime. And it's just the emotion, the expressions on the characters' faces during those cinematic scenes was just glorious. Seeing those noble phantasms animated was beautiful. And then we get that abomination that is Fate Grand Order, and the way that it looks and how dated it looks. Can we please, Japan, please stop spending all your money on Fate Grand Order so they can get the hint that they need to make a new one that looks beautiful. If you keep spending all your money on Fate Grand Order, they're never going to give us a better, updated, more beautiful looking Fate Grand Order. And if you look at the breakdowns, only Japan is spending money on Fate Grand Order. The rest of the world's sitting here like, yo, we need a better game. And Japan's like, nah, we're good, bro. Japan, get out of your own way. Get out of our way. Give us a better Fate game. If you keep making them all this money, they're never going to change. We're going to have a Grand Theft Auto 5 into 6 situation where it's just going to go on for 20 years before they decide to make a new game, because it's still making money. From a developer and publisher standpoint, they're like, yeah, we're set. But from a player standpoint, it's just like, come on, man. We can get better. We deserve better. Come on, I'm a big Fate fan. Our character that was designed here for X's Media and X's Plays was based on the inspiration and design of Saber from Fate. Can we please get a better Fate game? Uma Musume, that freaking horse derby game. I don't get the hype for it. I just don't. I tried to watch anime. I couldn't get into it. All right. Horse girls. I mean, it's just not my thing. But it made $13 million in Japan, so they love it over there. But then again, they love Fate Grand Order too, and that's questionable. Nikki, you know, if you like things that shake around and jiggle, you're gonna like that game. Obviously, making $21 million, and now it kind of went down a little bit. Well, actually, went down almost by half, down to 11 million. Arc Knights, woo, talk about a drop. Now, to be fair, add a little bit of context, Arc Knights don't usually drop no $40-50 million in a month, right? They had a really, really good month. And then they came back down to kind of like similar, you know, some of their more normal numbers, I would say. So that's not as surprising. It's more the jump that was surprising than the fall, to be honest. Summoner's War, old, but still making bank. I mean, it's still one of the, you know, the top tier turn-based games available on mobile. You have Summoner's War, you got Raid Shadow Legends, you got Honkai Star Rail now, you got Epic 7, which is also on this list down here a little bit as well. You have Seven Deadly Sins, Grand Cross, etc., etc. These are some of the dogs that's been in a fight for a while, and they don't want to give up their spot. Jujutsu Kaisen, Phantom Parade, I mean, with the hype of the anime and stuff like that, I believe it was season 2 that came out recently. I mean, people were just all over the Jujutsu Kaisen bandwagon. Making $9 million. That's not bad for Japan only. I'll take it. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. They went from 11 million to 8 million. I tell you what, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle will always be forever a summon simulator. The entire game is centered around all the cool animations for summoning new characters. That is literally the premise of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. We played it for a long time here on the main channel. Back in the day, we used to do giveaways and everything like that. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle literally created account sharing. They created the account sharing meta for gacha games for a long period of time. It was them. They grandfathered that in, right? Because of the way they designed it and how they did the, you know, here's my account. Would you like to buy it, or would you like to trade for it, or would you like to get it? Like, that was really a big part of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle for the longest time, because people just wanted to summon. They didn't want to play the game, they just wanted to summon. Now, here in recent years, they have added a lot more gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, but it's still, at the end of the day, just summon, and summon some more. It's really just a summon simulator. Otherwise, it's just a glorified bubble popper. Let's be real here. If it didn't have Dragon Ball characters in it, it probably would have died on release. It's just not that great of a game. However, the summoning animations are beautiful. Blue Archive. Oh, and it's a Dragon Ball product, so obviously the IP is going to carry it. Blue Archive made $7.8 million. AFK Journey's coming right down to earth. I mean, they made like $19 million a couple months back, and a lot of people were like shocked, like, wow, AFK Journey, wow, what's going on? And then they went down to $12 million, and now they're down to $7 million. They're probably going to continue to fall because they're definitely coming back down to earth in a big way. It's AFK Journey. It's an AFK game. It's an idle type game, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, everyone's just trying to be the next AFK Arena, but why? I don't know. I'm personally kind of getting sick of idle games. I'll still play them from time to time, especially if any of them are like a complete idle game, like they have a whole bunch of different mechanics instead of just clicking for updates and for power-ups and stuff like that. If there's actually a game premise to it, I will definitely pick it up, which AFK Journey does have, but it's just like, there's just too many idle games. We need to stop. We need to stop. Reverse 1999, 6.6 mil, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. Speaking of that, 6.5 million. They're pretty much just breaking even here from last month. Azure Lane, One Piece Bounty Rush, Hatsune Miku, Colorful Stage, Ensemble Stars, Epic 7, another one of those staples. Speaking of Epic 7, we might be getting a new type of Epic 7, hopefully, because Super Creative and Smilegate's in the kitchen, and they're cooking up a new game right now, Chaos Zero Nightmare. Not too much information about that game yet, but I am hyped. I hope it's as good as Epic 7, if not better, because Epic 7 still to this day holds up with some of the best games out there, graphically and gameplay-wise, so let's see what happens. Heaven Burns Red, I hate that game. It was a dialogue simulator for me. It was just so, I mean, it's story-driven, right? And if you like story-driven, you are getting that really driven right into your freaking skull when you're playing Heaven's Burn Red. It is just dialogue after dialogue after dialogue after dialogue. It's like you've seen walking simulators, okay? Now you've seen dialogue simulators. Heaven Burns Red. Now, when you get to late game, there is actual gameplay. You get to actually fight and stuff like that, and it is pretty enjoyable, but you got to get through the mound of story. But if you are a big story-driven fan, and you're playing the game for the story and not for the game, Heaven Burns Red might be right up your alley. Fire Emblem Heroes, we got didn't mean to do that. We got Cookie Run Kingdom, still making a little bit of money, even though they just released their new Cookie Run game, which I was not a big fan of. I was going to play it until I played it, and then I didn't like it. One Piece Treasure Cruise, the Battle Cats, speaking of AFK Arena, still making some money there. Snowbreak, Containment Zone, Honkai Impact 3rd, Memento Mori, Final Fantasy I'm still surprised Final Fantasy 7 Ever Crisis is still doing so well. I played that game on the main channel with our boy Gurky here, and it was fun for a while, but it really had a shelf life for us, but somehow it's still making some money. It might just be that Final Fantasy is just carrying it. That IP is just, it's strong. It is strong. Square Enix definitely has a golden ticket when it comes to anything Final Fantasy for the most part. Even if it's not a particularly great game, it's Final Fantasy, so people check it out. Persona 5, Brown Dust 2, Another Eden, Tears of Themis, Punishing Gray Raven, which for a period of time looked like it was going to die off, like just be dead. But globally, the game is still making bank. Over here, not so much. It's not doing very well over here. But, globally, it's still making almost $2 million a month. Landgrisser, Pokemon Masters EX, Blue Lock. Speaking of Pokemon, we're gonna have a few Pokemon videos coming up here soon because there's some really good spin-offs that I definitely want to check out. There's one that we're currently playing, which was, formerly known as Pocket Incoming, now Elemental Quest. Definitely check those videos out. And there's also the Pokemon TCG Pocket coming out this year, which looks really, really good. And if it's anything like Duel Links was for me on the main channel, I'm gonna be all over that. So we'll see we're gonna see what's gonna happen there. But we'll cover that in a little bit as well. Blue Lock, we got Idol Master, Final Fantasy War of the Visions, Bang Dream, we got Path to Nowhere, Atelier, Resolariana, it's something like that. Princess Connect Redive, I don't know why Crunchyroll Games decided to let's not just keep that global anymore. When it was making you $10 million in like 3 months, sure, let's close it down for freaking Street Fighter Duel because it made $10 million in 1 month, and now it's just Street Fighter Full is more like it. Outer Plane, still making some money, surprisingly. 1.9 mil last month, down to 1.1 million. I'm still surprised it's still making $1 million, to be honest with you, because they've made some really questionable decisions here recently, from what I've heard. And we covered that pretty hardcore on the main channel. We were like the go-to channel, actually, for Outer Plane for a period of time. Black Clover Mobile, it's barely over 1 million. That game was doomed to fail from the beginning. I mean, it just has some of the weirdest gear system I've ever seen. I mean, you're playing Tetris with your gear. It's an anime IP, so anime IPs are always 50-50 if they're going to be good after the first 30 days or not, because most people are playing those games just because it's the anime or it's an IP that they are very big fans of. But then after that nostalgia or that fanfare wears off, you got to realize you got to actually enjoy the game now. So it's always 50-50 with those. Dislight made $1 million, down half basically from last month. Break My Case. Mobile Suit Gundam Engage. I mean, why are we even still making Mobile Suit games at this point? Gundam is just kind of like I don't even know. Like, Bandai has killed the IP of Gundam for gaming. And they're trying to do the same thing with my Digimon, which I'm very upset about. They just have too many IPs, and they just don't know what to do with most of them unless it's called Dragon Ball. Octopath Traveler, Tower of Fantasy, Aether Gazer, Girls Frontline 2, Eversoul, Grand Summoners, Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which is going to be probably in its final year, I think. I think it's about done after this. Dolphin Wave, Astra, Bleach Brave Souls, another older game that might be facing its final year or two. I mean, they're starting to really dip down there in the low money now. 700K might sound like a lot to a lot of people, but we're talking about a whole studio here that's got to get paid, developing team for your updates and everything else. So it's not really a whole lot. We'll see if Bleach can hold out, or maybe they got something cooking in the kitchen too. Maybe they're going to bring out a new game. That'd be kind of fun. Idly Pride, Tower of God, New World, Limbus Company, Ecocalypse. Yeah, eat a lot of cock. Scarlet Covenant, Alchemy Stars, Guardian Tales, Neural Cloud, Devil May Cry, Peak of Combat. That game was doomed when it first came out not too long ago. It just did not look like a very great game, and the money that it's making kind of justifies that. Counterside, D4DJ, Groovy Mix, Girls Frontline, Revu Starlight Relive. I'm surprised the game's still alive, to be honest. Still making 200K, I guess. One Piece, Dream Pointer, Danmachi Battle Chronicle. That game looked like hot ass when it came out. I played that for about 10 minutes and I was like, 10 minutes too long. Aster, Legend Clover, Captain Tsubasa, Artery Gear, One Punch Man World. How is this not EOS yet? How is this not EOS? One Punch Man World. They might as well just call it One Man World because there's probably only one player still playing it. $32,000. That is bum is what that game is. Higan Hirathol, another trash game that faced a lot of scrutiny and controversy and did not go nowhere. We'll see if it can catch it. You know, let's see if we can get a little improvement on that game. See if it can kind of find its beat again and come back to life. But I don't know. It's not looking too good for Higan. Artsland and then Magia Record. And that is pretty much it. That is pretty much the list here. Again, it doesn't, we don't have all the gachas on here. So if I miss any gachas that you guys and gals might play, like I said, we might try to make more of an extensive list in the future. Maybe even make it 6 months long, showing you the breakdowns of the percentages of the increases and the decreases and stuff like that. We're either doing like a Google Docs that we'll share with everyone in the Discord, or maybe we'll do an actual website or something in the future. I'm not entirely sure yet. But I definitely want to do this because it's a lot of fun. It's something that I want to start doing every month, make it kind of like a tradition here on Excess Media. So let me know if you guys enjoy videos like this. I tried add a little bit of entertainment to this because this isn't always fun just reading off numbers. But anyways, that's going to be it for me. Let me know what you guys feel about these numbers. Were some of these numbers surprising? Some of these numbers just kind of letdowns? Did they got some of you guys excited? Are these numbers going to even change your opinion on the game if you're going to play it or not play it? Or anything like that. Let me know all that and more in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, take notifications, join us in the Discord in the description below. As always, until next time, peace.